But the amount of gaslighting our media does, like after Nasrallah was killed, I turned on the news. I flipped to Fox News. First thing I heard when I flipped was said, with them saying, "How could we ever repay Israel for defending Western civilization?" That was the first thing I said. I was like, "This is wild. This is wild." But
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
narrative, and
Yeah.
people are trying to keep on buying. But surely that position is losing water rapidly, right? People are
Yeah.
falling, believing that.
Well, quite a few people are, obviously. I mean, but yeah, I think the number of people that believe in it is decreasing by the day. Yeah, too slowly, gradually, but gradually the number is decreasing. Yeah, it was just recently in a speech, I guess it was Netanyahu was berating Macron for suggesting that the West cut off arms supplies to Israel.
I
And
was going to
yeah,
bring that up. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, he made the same kind of contrast. Israel is, represents the forces of light and civilization, and Iran, the forces of barbarism. And anybody who's actually paying attention to what's happening on the ground, it's kind of similar. We say, okay, in the Israeli minds, it's they have them in their minds. They have an image of themselves as the victim, the eternal victim. So if you're the eternal victim, you're always justified. You're always defending yourself, right? Since you're the victim. Any strike, any assassination, any carpet bombing, well, that's defense because you're the victim. You're doing it. But it's similar. What's sold to the West is that, okay, yeah, you're still civilization. This is what. Obviously it doesn't have to be sold. There are people, so many of us believe this, that we represent what is good. We represent, the civilization, and out there, are the barbarians. Yeah, Joseph Borrell, what was it? He used the metaphor of the garden. Right. He said Europe is a garden and the jungle is out there. Again, very similar kind of language. And then if you really believe this, then you can, well, it becomes an excuse for not thinking about what you do. So yeah, you can support all kinds of atrocities because you're the forces of civilization. And sometimes, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet. There will be collateral damage or whatever. That's how you justify it. But in any case, you're representing civilization, and the other side is the barbarians. Yeah, maybe it's sad that some innocent people are killed, but it is this war against barbarism. So it's can only be for the good. But you go down that road, you say, okay, how many massacres, eventually you have a whole genocide on your hands. But it's on behalf of civilization, and we're fighting the barbarians. It's justified in those terms. It's what prevents people from actually looking at it, and then eventually, this kind of thinking actually turns us into the barbarians. I mean, this is what it's because you've stopped actually asking what you're doing and the morality of your individual actions because you are the eternal civilized people, and they are the eternal barbarians. So you don't need to even ask about, the morality of wiping out this apartment block or the morality of, even of a genocide, because after all, you're the civilized people. What do you do? What do you think? You want to stand on the side of the barbarians?